Well, Colorado is facing a housing crisis right now, and all week we've been taking an in-depth look at the issue.
Today we're diving deep into the cost of housing. We have the just released housing sales report, how one builder is offering smaller homes for smaller prices, ways you can save on closing costs, and what the upcoming interest rate hike will mean for the housing market. Starting with that January sales report. This is unbelievable. There were about 2,800 homes sold in January, according to the Metro Denver Association of Realtors, a drop of 12% from a year ago, and fewer than 1,200 homes were on the market at the end of the month. That is a new record low and down nearly 50% from a year ago. Experts say you need to know your price range and be ready to make an offer right after seeing a home.
By the time you walk out the door, having a decision made. And if you're not comfortable with those items, that's okay. That doesn't mean you're out of the running. What you need to do is not look at any house that hits the market that first weekend. So if a house has survived the market after the first weekend, it's likely you won't have to compete after that. You may still have to offer close to full price.
And as for sellers, real estate agent Andrew Abrams recommends working with a professional and marketing for staging because it can add tens of thousands of dollars to your sale price.
Well, the median price for a home in the metro is now $540,000. So buyers looking for a lower price may find it in a smaller home. That's the focus of a development in Berthoud. As Denver 7's Colette Bordelon shows us, they can't build them fast enough.
Marcia Hale knew we were coming over.
Hello.
Hi, Marcia.
Hi. How are you?
She lives in Prairie Star,
I love it here.
a community with over 600 homes in Berthoud.
Some friends say to me, do you ever miss back east? I'm like, no, I really don't.
Her house may be smaller than it was before.
I downsized, which is good, but I had to pay quite a bit more. So that kind of surprised me. And that was in the end of 2019.
So you can see this is a demonstration of what Berthoud allowed us to do with densifying a normal block.
One of the brains behind the build.
We have 7 or 8 houses on either side where you would normally have 4 houses fronting on a street.
Scott Sarbaugh says this is housing built affordable.
As a developer, what some of the municipalities can do is start encouraging small-scale homes.
He says the homes here fly off the market about as quickly as they can build them.
I'm hoping this is the future of housing on the Front Range.
Saying the smoke from the Marshall Fire could creep into the housing market.
Can it really get tougher? We'll see, won't we? I hope not, but the reality is you take 1,000 homes out of the marketplace. The supply and demand is so out of balance, and we just increase the demand and limited supply.
Another layer to an already complex foundation in Colorado.
The whole housing situation is really desperate.
With people like Hale saying downsizing is the way to go. Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Well, one expense when you sell a home is commissions to real estate agents, but more and more companies like Redfin and OfferPad and Trelora are offering discounted prices. So we talked to a Redfin agent who said you shouldn't get discounted service for a discounted price.
Real estate can be done at a lower fee. So our product, especially for our listing side, is just top notch. We have amazing marketing, we have great photography, we have 3D walkthroughs, and it's just a fraction of the price of our competitors.
As for buyers, Heather Sawa, who you just saw there, says to make sure you interview more than one agent. She says in Denver's fast-moving market, you need an experienced agent who can get you in to see a property before it gets sold.
With the Federal Reserve set to raise interest rates as early as next month, we wondered what impact that will have on the housing market. I spoke to Ray Williams with the Mortgage Maestro Group. He says federal policy will impact housing. Maybe not exactly how you think, though. If the Fed raises the key interest rate and that eventually brings inflation under control, that could actually be good for the housing market. Of course, Williams and other experts are still expecting mortgage rates to go up from the pandemic lows we've been seeing. And one example Williams showed me on a $480,000 loan. If you're paying around $2,150 a month with a 3.5% rate, if you raise that 3/4 of a point, you're paying over $200 more a month, and that could price some families out of the house they want. So I asked Williams, what can people do to lock in the best rate? He said maximize your credit score by paying off some debt, shop around for lenders, and maybe even think about an adjustable rate mortgage. Right now, the rate on a 10-year ARM is about 0.5% lower, so consider where you might be 10 years from now.
So you certainly want to get into the history of your spending habits. You know, how long do you stay at a job? How long do you keep your cars? How long do you stay in your home? What's your future plans? Are you going to have children and sell this home? Is this home going to become a rental?
A lot to think about. Williams doesn't expect higher mortgage rates to curb demand in Denver since people are still moving here and inventory is at those record lows. Don't miss the conclusion of our series tomorrow. We'll tell you how you can better compete with an influx of cash buyers, the hidden risks of waiving a home inspection, and how infrastructure needs to grow with our communities.